Now, if you're raised in a decent household, we were taught the typical norms of, respecting everybody regardless of race, gender, and etc. Well, I hope this video finds you. And if you weren't, well, I hope this video finds you too. Anyways, despite the fact that racism was taught to be a bad thing, for some reason in anime, it's a common theme that the greatest villains, or at least the slimiest ones, tend to be extremely racist. And today we're just going to talk about the best ones. Firstly, we gotta talk about Danzo from Naruto. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this man's hatred toward the Uchiha clan is truly 101, as in this guy will literally sacrifice the whole village just to hate them. Now let me explain. So for those familiar or unfamiliar with the Naruto lore, essentially once upon a time ago, there was this nine-tailed beast that attacked the village who was directed by Madara. Now the Uchihas using their Sharingan could have easily prevented it and probably took control of the nine-tails and stopped all the casualty that was caused that village that day. But instead, Danzo's hating ass said, nigga, fuck those Uchihas, put them and isolate them away from all this because I don't want them anywhere near even trying to help the village at all. Now, of course, due to the actions, they quite literally cooked the entire village as hella people died that day. And also, it low-key inadvertently caused the sorrow of Naruto's life as both his father and mother died that day trying to protect the village. So yeah, Danzo is kind of responsible for the sorrow of everything going on in Naruto's life right now. Secondly, Danzo quite literally wiped out the entire clan. So due to no one actually knowing who controlled the Nine Tails to unleash havoc on the entire village, he tried pinning it on the Uchihas, and because there was quite literally no one else to pin it on, they ended up pinning it on the Uchihas. Now again, this is all accusations and stuff, so because of this, they had to isolate the Uchihas away from the village, and because they really couldn't do anything else besides that at that point. But again, Danzo's hating ass was like, yeah, we still gotta get rid of him. And rightfully so, the Uchiha were extremely mad to the fact they had to be isolated from the village for crimes that they know for a fact they didn't commit. And because of that, a civil war is basically about to break loose between the Uchihas and the rest of the village. Now, he overheard all this and said, you know what, I got the perfect plan for y'all. So Danzo ends up meeting up with the son of the Uchiha's chief, Itachi, and telling him, look, you got two options. Either your clan goes into a civil war against the village and ends up killing not only themselves, but most of the village as well, or you have to kill your entire clan so nothing happens. And yeah, he had to end up choosing killing his entire clan. Now me personally, I probably would have chose the first option and yeah, go to war, but at the same time, I do understand Itachi's perspective because again, you're about to kill a whole bunch of children and mothers all because of some civil war. So I understand what he did, but at the same time, way too slimy, bro. Next villain we got up is Mr. I Hate Monkeys himself, Frieza. Now for some context, the Saiyan race is a warrior race who was kind of like mercenaries conquering different planets in the name of King Cold. And King Cold had this very stubborn, stuck-up son known as Frieza. And I'm not gonna lie, Frieza is the epitome of just pure hate and racism. So one day, King Cold appointed the Saiyans to Frieza's control, and Frieza just started wilding out. He said, you know what, I hate you niggas, and I'm gonna make y'all slaves. And he started overworking them to the point where it just wasn't fair anymore, I'm not gonna lie. And eventually, Bardock, Goku's father, ended up realizing, yo, I low-key think he's about to blow us up. And then the next day, he quite literally blew up the entire race, I'm not gonna lie. Now, maybe wonder, why is it that Frieza hated him so much, even though they're supposed to be doing good work for him and his father? Well, apparently there's this kind of rumor, or should I say urban myth going around that there'd be a Super Saiyan that come out of nowhere, and the Super Saiyan would have an insane amount of power and would free the Saiyans, and yeah, would basically free them from oppression and be Martin Luther King to them, I'm not gonna lie. So Frieza popped his ultimate known as the Planet Destroyer and quite literally obliterated an entire planet. And thankfully, Vegeta and Goku were able to survive, but again, every time he sees them, he remembers the fact that these Super Saiyan ass niggas quite literally could destroy me at any moment, so of course he's gonna hate those monkeys. Lastly, we have a villain from the new gen who coincidentally also calls the people he hates monkeys, Suguru Geto. Now to be completely fair, he didn't always start like this, as before he was actually pro-human / monkey, as you know how he calls it. But anyways, he was once a Jujutsu sorcerer who was protecting humans from the curses that they kind of spawned by their negative emotions, but eventually came to the realization that watching all his sorcerer friends die almost every day at work stems from humans, as they're the ones who create all these negative emotions, as Jujutsu sorcerers don't cause them due to the fact they actually can control their curse energy. Plus, humans aren't aware of the existence of cursed spirits, and they especially don't know the fact that they're the ones that cause them to exist. Only higher ups in the government are really aware, as that's the only reason that Jujutsu sorcerers and their schools have funding. But again, back to the point. The fact that you're risking your life every day, dying to save someone from some type of crazy grade 1 cursed spirit, to the fact they're not gonna say thank you, or the fact they'll probably never acknowledge you because you probably think you're weird just floating around doing all this, I don't know, weird anime crap. Now these two epiphanies end up leading into this formula in his head that said no humans equals no curses. So his whole mission is to quite literally commit genocide on a whole human race. And y'all, when I tell y'all that this man's hate for humans is so unmatched that he quite literally got whooped by a human, well, I mean, he did have a healing restriction, but got whooped by a human, and before he got knocked out, the last thing he says is, "You're a fucking monkey." You know how much hate you have to have, bro? Hassan Campbell levels of hate, bro. You gotta respect that, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, y'all, I know this is a short video, but I appreciate you guys if you got all the way to the end. God bless y'all, as he's been blessing me, and I'm grateful for him even letting me be able to come out here. Anyways, not gonna lie, my fault for not posting for damn near almost a month. I've just been low-key busy and lazy, so yeah. Anyways, y'all, stay safe.